Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and what say we monkey around a little bit with Transformers Rise of the Beasts Studio Series Optimus Primal. He's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is the Studio Series Optimus Primal. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it because honestly I have the Kingdom one, actually I have the Netflix one, and I like that fine for an updated Primal. I prefer my Beast Wars to be from the original Beast Wars series. However, I'm not going to lie and say that I wasn't impressed with Rise of the Beast. I personally was. I thought it was a very clean film. Maybe not the most heart, maybe not the most action-packed, but I think it was the cleanest storytelling they've done. And I think it had a lot of heart, specifically the relationship between Primal and Airazor and the way that affects him when he has to end her spark, basically. I got this, however, because I said, you know what? That might be a decent stand-in for an Apelinq for me. Maybe. Might have been me just trying to justify an excuse for getting this guy. Is he good? Is he not? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And boom, so we're going to jump right in to the Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series Optimus Primal. This is number 106, of course. This is the Studio Series version. You can see our ape boy over here. He is yelling something ferocious. Over here, ferocious face. On this side, him in robot mode. You'll note that here, he actually has his full faceplate. And I feel like, looking at this art, I don't feel like it looks as much like the Studio Series as the main line, weirdly enough. And back here we have robot mode, alt mode. You'll notice the open face there. And he has a ton of accessories. We're going to talk about those next. Our boy comes with this giganto sheet of instructions that really show everything. You know, it is what it is. We have our jungle backdrop and Primal here, beating his chest. He comes with both halves of the Transwarp key that Unicron wanted to use to be able to jump between dimensions. It's already put together. It's all one piece as best as I can tell. Painted silver with orange. Kind of nice and a metallic orange at that. And finally we get to the big gorilla boy himself. Well, sort of. We're not really to him yet because we actually have to talk about all of these accessories that he comes with besides the Transwarp key. He comes with his two swords, which he's famously known for. By the way, if you were curious how they compare with the the Kingdom swords, they're bigger, right? They are definitely, let's just take him out of it for a second. They are definitely bigger than that, and you know, painted a little bit different, but they look really great. He also, besides for coming with two of those, he also comes with two of these chain pieces, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And he comes with this axe on his side. So we're going to take all of those accessories off and talk about those for just a moment, because they go together in a number of configurations that, you know what, let's just get into them. Alright, so the first thing to note is we have this axe, and this axe by rights is intended apparently to go with the Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast. I guess either the main line or the Studio Series, I suppose. If we take the correct, because if we look at the two swords, one has a hole on the top, the other has a little peg on the top. If we take the one with the hole, I mean, we could put it together like this. That's pretty cool looking. Or, of course, you can do the traditional Optimus Primal thing and put both of those together, and yes, he can hold this in his hand no problem. Or you could take a piece of the chain, and by the way, the chain is also able to work with the mace accessory of Battle Trap, Rise of the Beast Battle Trap. And you can put both of them on the chain piece, right? Or, of course, if you're so inclined, you can take the two chain pieces. I think you can anyway. Oh. The two chain pieces and put those together. I'm not gonna lie. When we do the storage, there's a little peg hole that this 3mm peg goes in on his side. Interestingly, it looks like that's pinned and could probably move, but I can't get it to move. Weird. These, they go in on his back. We use this little rectangular tab right here. It goes in on his back. This thing was hard. There's a little peg hole there that I assume one of these slots go over, but it's not clear in the instructions how this really goes on his back. I'm hoping that I can actually remove the chain of the mace accessory that comes with Toy World's Hegemon and use one of these chain pieces with it. And I'm really hoping that I can remove the chain piece that comes with HasLab Death Source and use one of these chain pieces, because what I like about this is a chain that you can manipulate, maneuver, articulate. I love the chain accessories. Make of that what you will. And finally, here we have the two monkey boys. And I say two monkey boys because one is the Kingdom, actually it's the Netflix War for Cybertron Kingdom version of Optimus Primal, not the just mainline one, as well as now the Rise of the Beast Studio Series version. And one is a Voyager, one is a Leader. Undoubtedly, this one does have more parts than this one. So that is something to its credit. However, this one clocks in at 132 grams of plastic, as compared to the traditional 145 to 165 for a Voyager. And I said when I reviewed him, I said, I get it. We lost some mass because we have so much texture detail with the fur and stuff. I get it. This guy, same sort of thing. I was prepared to have a little less mass for the guy, because we do have texture detail here on the shoulder and on the fur on the arms and on his chest, and the whole head is full of it. Like, there's a lot of molded in detail here. I get it, and it's very clean on the back and stuff, for the most part anyway. So like all of that I sort of get. And I said, well, it's probably not going to be quite 320 or 315 to 325. I did not expect for this, with all of his accessories, to only clock in at 182 grams. Like, sorry, this is not a Leader class. It's a really good Voyager. Really good Voyager, but Leader class price point for this? Absolutely not. Don't pay it. Wait for a sale. Because it's not. It's nowhere close to a Leader. It's really good, but let's not mistake being really good with value for money. You're literally only getting 182 grams of the product that you should be getting, compared to the traditional 300 plus, right? That's a big give. I love the molded in detail though, but wait for a sale. I'm going to say that already. Okay, so comparatively, I mean, the monkey lads look good together. I'm thinking I might use this guy as Apelinq, so we'll see. I'm going to take this guy out of it for now. We'll see him in robot mode a bit later. Here, the articulation, actually quite good. The head goes left, right, up, and down. The jaw opens and closes. I like that. The shoulders, they go all the way around. Do they? Yeah, all the way around. The shoulder pad can go way up. So if you want to leave it down, you can. If you want to put it up, you can. That's, you know, it's all your call, really. We have elbow over 90 degrees. We have bicep swivel. The hands and the fingers open and close. I think they're the last two are together. The first two are together. Nothing at the thumb, wrist rotation, so that's cool. We do not have a waist in this mode. The legs, not really going to go back, a little bit forward, well out to the side. I guess these here, I mean, they can go forward, so it's kind of like a reverse knee. It's really weird the way the legs are done. But you can get some pretty decent poses. The guy can stand upright, which I love. But we can also put oh, by the way, this butterfly joint works across his body too. But you can also put them this way, and this is when it's really valuable to be able to put these feet up and put them like this, right? where he looks very gorilla-ish. So like, I like all of that, honestly. I think all that's really cool. Put those down again. I love the articulation. I'll give credit where it's due there. It's certainly, I think it's probably a little bit better articulated than the Kingdom, although the Kingdom does have an ankle joint, and its hips are a little more free-flowing. Hard to say for sure, but the articulation in Gorilla Mode, still pretty darn good. Let's talk about the transformation next, and then we'll give him scores when we actually get there. However, I'm gonna be hard on the guy because, man, he better shine right across the board, because based on the amount of product you're actually getting, this is nowhere near the value for money. Nowhere close to it. Let's see how it goes with the transformation. We're gonna begin by picking off the back, and we should be able to pick off the front, I suspected. Yeah, pick that off and turn it around. I'm actually going to put his head back a bit. We're going to turn that around, for now. Pardon me. Let me just get myself reoriented here for a second. Okay, let's pick off that and that. Let's also extend down that leg and extend down that leg. And turn our boy around at the waist. Cool. We're going to... How do I want to do this next? Usually I do the upper body first, but for some reason I'm doing the lower body here. That's all right. Let's do the lower body anyway since we're here. We're going to take this and we're going to bring down the robot mode foot. We're trying to get this one up. We're going to bring that in on the side, and we're going to bring this up over and in and flip that knee in. Yeehaw. And we're going to flip down those toes, and I'm going to need something here to get the heel spur out. Let's take a sword here to get the heel spur out if I can. Man, oh man. Trying to get this heel spur out is a nuisance, I'm not going to lie. There we go. Got that out, and then this should be able to go right up on the back of the leg. I don't think I brought this in all the way. By the way, when we bring this in, we have a rectangular peg in here that should go into the leg there. So all of that, there you go, locked in like that. Yeehaw! Over here, it's not elegant, but it makes sense and you can feel it as it's going. Bring this down, same sort of thing. We want to bring this down all the way. We want this to be right up flush on the back of the leg before we snap in the front piece here. And we're going to, do that. And I think we might be good with lower legs. Let me double check here with the lower legs and make sure I have this one tabbed in, and then we'll do the upper body next. Actually, I was neglecting a step and I want to point it out now. This hinge down here, you need to lower it down. Then you can fold this up and slot it in and bring the knee in. But you do have to bring this lower hinge down. Just thought I'd mention it before we do the upper body. Okay, so the lower legs, I mean, they extend out, it's fine. The way that this all works is elegant when you really have it down, but I'm not gonna lie, I always forget about collapsing this hinge down closer to the foot. Always. Once that's done, then this shin should be able to push in, no problem, and there's a rectangular slot in the shin that goes over a gray rectangular tab on the leg. And when it's done correctly, the Gorilla Mode foot is flush against the back of the leg. If that's not flush against the back of the leg, then you haven't done it right. Okay, let's finish the upper body next. So, we bring this up over, and of course we already have this up, right? And then we bring down this piece, but before we just leave it down, we turn it around, and we bring it all the way down thusly. And we should be able to open up the body and take our gorilla head and our robot head, and they should... Did I need to turn that around? I'm trying to remember now how exactly it is I do this. Maybe not. Maybe it's not until it's in. Yeah, okay. So you just turn it around, and then you turn the gorilla head like you... While it's still out, the gorilla head's up like this. Fold it back like that. Bring this down, and then you can close this up. Over here, these two hinges at the shoulders, they bring all of this down around on the back. We rotate these arms around like this. We're going to deal with the arms in just a minute. Oh, I thought I had turned the waist around. I guess I didn't. My mistake. I turned the waist around earlier, but I don't think I had to. My mistake. We open out the arm here. We open out the arm here. We begin to take out this hand by folding this hand, the gorilla hand, up. We turn this around, and then we turn this piece around. Then we turn this hand back around again. It's a bit cumbersome, I'm not going to lie. And then we fold that up. This whole piece here angles down to fill in this gap. This whole piece here angles down, and then this comes up over the arm and goes into a couple of slots there, and then we open out the hand. Cool! I like that. The backpack up here, before we do the other arm, we have a slot in the black here, and we have a rectangular gray tab there. That snaps in there as well. All of this is nice and flush and clean on the back. Then we come to this one over here. Again, we have to pick this off, close the fingers in, turn the hand around so that we can turn this piece around, turn the gorilla hand back around. Then we also pick this up. We fold the gorilla hand. Oh man. We fold the gorilla hand up and in. We fold this down over and that up over. And we angle down this arm piece here. Open the hand, turn this around. And boom, in the end, here we have Optimus Primal in his robot mode. And again, though I'm not showing it, yes, he can hold his axe, no problem. In fact, with articulated fingers, it makes it real easy to put it in his hand. He can hold his sword or his dual sword, no problem. He can hold one in each hand with the chain connecting them. He can do it all, no problem. Here he is next to the Kingdom Primal, and like I look at this and I feel like this could be a mentor for this, right? I get it. I also note that this guy has the open face. Pardon me, the open face, rather than the face mask. I wish he had the face mask, because in the movie we barely saw the open face. But it is a neat little homage back to the original. I mean, I see where the homage is, for sure. And this guy has a presence. He really, really does have a very special presence about him. So, the transformation. I did kind of mess up with the knees there a little bit. But honestly, the arms are brilliant. The way the torso, there's a lot of movement with the torso where it flips right over his head based on these two hinges on the shoulders. The way we turn this piece around and the way we tuck up the gorilla chest, the gorilla abdomen up over the gorilla chest and bring it all together here nice and tight is beautiful. In this mode, you can still put the swords back here. The axe, I'm assuming, can still go on. Yeah, go on his hip. The chain piece, I'm sure that there's a peg here somewhere for it. I just don't know where it. Oh, there's the peg for the chain up there. So, like, you can still put everything on his back if you want. I'm going to say that the transformation is a lot more intricate and involved than I expected, a lot more interesting than I expected. I'm going to give it a solid 9. I think it's great. I'm glad I remembered to show about collapsing this hinge. Easy to forget it. And then the leg doesn't line up right, and you'll be wondering, why isn't the leg lining up right? Man, that little hinge down there. So, 9 for the transformation. For look, like, it looks a lot like Primal from the movie. I think this is based on concept art, but boy, does it look a lot like him. I'm going to give it also a 9, because I look at it, and there's no mistaking to me that this is Rise of the Beasts Optimus Primal. No mistaking to me. So a 9 and a 9, what about the articulation? Head goes left, right. It does get caught up by the collar a little bit. A little up and not much down, just a little bit down. The arms, they go all the way around, out to the side, bicep swivel. Oh, by the way, if you wanted a more like traditional Primal look, I guess you could lift his shoulder pads a little bit, like if you prefer that, say. Bicep swivel, if I didn't say it. Elbow to 90 degrees or a little better. Wrist rotation. Just like with the gorilla hands, these two fingers and these two fingers are connected. Nothing at the thumb that I can tell. Wrist rotation, if I didn't already say it. Unlike the gorilla, we have a waist here. Hips, I mean, all the way out to the side. Forward, a ton. Back, a ton. Thigh swivel. 90 degrees at the knee. I guess we could say toe articulation up because of transformation and heel articulation down because of transformation. Ankle tilt all day long. Nothing I can't really pull off with this guy, honestly, in terms of poses. I'm going to give it a 10. So we had a 9, a 9, and a 10. Just as a transformer. Even if this isn't your Optimus Primal of choice, just as a transformer, he's fantastic. He's an easy 9.5. Easy 9.5. What a shame that he's only 182 grams. How could they have added more mass? I'm not even sure. That's the thing that kills me about it, is I'm not sure how to add it here. We do have the Japanese one that's bigger again, but I don't think bigger would really work. I think it would be just at a scale with everything else. I think this is the size. I think this is the molding. I think this is the coloration. I think that this is the Rise of the Beast Primal for anybody looking for Primal. I think it's great at a 9.5. I just think it's overpriced because we're getting such a small amount of actual plastic content. I'm torn with this guy. You're going to have to make your own choice. For me, I think he's fantastic, but I do think it's wise to wait for at least a little bit of a sale. In the US, it doesn't even need to be a lot. I think this guy's 55 in the US. I think he's worth probably 45 in the US. In Canada, he's 76. If you can get him for 65, I think that he's probably worth that. I think he's more than a standard Voyager, for sure. I think he's like a glorified Voyager, but I still think he falls a little short of a leader. He's somewhere in between. He shouldn't be as low as a Voyager, shouldn't be as high as a leader. He should be somewhere smack dab in the middle. If you're on the fence, I mean, you got to make your own call. But in terms of just a quality transformer, man oh man, he is terrific. And here we are once again, and here he is in his ape mode. I like this ape mode. I like that it can stand up straight. I like that we can, you know, put the legs down and he can go over. I like that the head can go straight out. I love the articulation in this mode. I like the look of it. It's clean. And when we do the transformation, there's more here than I would have expected. It's more involved than I initially thought. And you know what? I think I really like the ape look and the robot mode look. I wish, though, that he had the full solid faceplate, because the open mouth one is so weird. We saw it so little in the film that it was a strange thing to do here. Naturally, this is based on, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess concept art and whatnot, so I get why they went that route. I think it's a good stand-in for me for Apelinq, but for Primal, I still prefer the look of the cartoon. That said, if you do like the Rise of the Beast look for this guy, this is great. And I don't even mind the fact that he's somewhat monochromatic, because all of the molded in detail that is kind of picked out and outlined with the silvers and the grays and stuff to be a little bit different from each other is just enough to make this guy cohesive, but really cool to look at. The transformation's interesting, the look is great, and honestly, the articulation is second to none, giving him a stance and a stature and a status on the shelf that few Transformers can pull off. Who knew he'd be this good? Studio Series Optimus Primal. Yes, sir. He's fantastic. Color me surprised. What did you think about Optimus Primal? Did you like him? Did you not? Do you not have him yet? I didn't get the mainline release, so I can't really do that comparison. But I do appreciate you guys coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. Please hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel, and please don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, right here, inside the videos.